It's a new year and we all got shit to do, so I'm going to tell you who wins every NFL playoff game, so you don't have to listen to Tony Romo say, "Oh, I don't know, Jim," 5,000 times. Some might call these predictions, but this is actually what's going to happen. Browns versus Texans. I know a lot of you are trying to meme playoff Joe Flacco into existence, and credit for what he's been able to do at the age of 73, but this is a hungry Texans team with a talented young QB who will, like all children, slay their elders. This Browns defense, while vaunted, has been known to disappear on the road, and the Texans win a surprisingly high-scoring affair, 34-23. Dolphins versus Chiefs. Now, I know we all like Mike McDaniels because he acts like he's probably on the spectrum and wonders why no one else has noticed, but this Dolphins team just doesn't have it. Their marquee wins were barely beating the Cowboys, another fraud team, and annihilating a Broncos team that played like being dominated is their fetish. And I know the Chiefs look like hot ass and Patty Ass has no one to throw to, but they still clear this one handily, 34-16. Steelers versus Bills. You think you're going to tune in to watch Josh Allen be a complete spaz for 3 quarters before getting his shit together enough to drag Buffalo to victory against a team that this roster should boat race. But here's where it happens. Here is where the big unexpected curveball rears its ugly head. Because the Bills surprisingly trail 23-17 going into the 4th quarter when Josh Allen finds Gabe Davis for a 30-yard touchdown to make it 24-23 with about 8 minutes left. The Steelers then find just enough of something that resembles an offense to get into field goal range and make it 26-24. No biggie, right? Here comes clutch Josh Allen to, oh god. Yep, first half Josh makes a surprise appearance to throw a pick and the Steelers close out a shocking upset, 26-24. Packers versus Cowboys. An incredibly boring game breaks out between the Packers and Cowboys in which the Cowboys consistently move the ball but keep having to settle for field goals. Still, it never seems like the Packers are actually in it, even though they tack on a garbage time touchdown to make the final score appear closer than it was. Cowboys win 24-22. Rams versus Lions. I feel bad for Lions fans. I mean, they finally reached the mountaintop, snag a division crown, and the reward is for everyone to talk about the return of their former quarterback who left to win a championship with another team. And there wasn't even any bad blood either. I saw plenty of Lions fans who were genuinely happy for Stafford, but they won't be after the Rams, who have slowly been piecing things together, come into Detroit and crush their dreams. The Lions offense goes completely cold like we saw on Thanksgiving, and the Rams escape Detroit with a 24-17 win. Eagles versus Buccaneers. Like someone waking up from dental surgery, the Eagles find themselves in the playoffs looking around and asking, why are we here? And what do we do? And they find themselves staring down the barrel of a team that just failed to score a touchdown against the Carolina Panthers. This season, this Eagles team beat this Buccaneers team by 2 touchdowns in this stadium, in this weather, and it was also on Monday night. But none of that matters because this Eagles team looks hopelessly lost and utterly defeated. Baker Mayfield throws for 300 yards because anyone, including your grandmother, would have a QBR in the 90s against this Eagles defense. Buccaneers win 24-18. Steelers versus Ravens. In a divisional round that no one wanted, surprise, surprise, the Ravens go up by 3 touchdowns and then put it in park because they know there's no way in hell free Mason Rudolph can do anything. Ravens win 21-9. Texans versus Chiefs. After facing down old man Flacco, CJ Stroud steps into the big boy league by taking on old man Mahomes. The Texans put up a valiant effort in a game reminiscent of the famous 13 seconds divisional round game a few years ago. Kansas City trails for much of the first half, though Houston repeatedly has to settle for field goals. The Chiefs are finally able to tie the game in the 3rd quarter thanks to a pass to Pacheco in some weird exotic formation or some shit. But Stroud and the Texans respond with a bomb to Tank Dell to give themselves a 23-16 lead. The Chiefs managed to not shit down their own legs in a late 2-minute drill for once and tie it up with just under a minute left. But on the biggest stage, Stroud has his big oopsie moment and throws a pick on an out route, allowing the Chiefs to kick a short field goal and steal the win, 26-23. Rams versus 49ers. In the other divisional round game no one wanted, a bit of a shock, because in a game that was billed as just a warm-up for the 49ers Super Bowl run, a reinvigorated Rams team led by Matty Lice goes into Santa Clara and lays a big fat shocker on the NFC favorites. The Rams jump out to a 7-0 lead before picking off Brock Purdy in Niners territory. The defense was able to hold them to a field goal, but the Niners were playing catch-up all day and never seemed to take control. Despite not having anything close to the better roster, the Rams are able to hold off the Niners to pull off the shocking upset, 27-20. Buccaneers versus Cowboys. You know, at this point you look around, it's like, wow, the NFC is not very good good, is it? Anyway, same as the Packers, the Buccaneers are never really in this game. Dink Poopsock and the Cowboys finally purged their haters who say they can't get past the divisional round by stomping the Bucs 28-14 to move on to the title game. Chiefs versus Ravens. Finally, a real game. God, the NFC sucked. The lowly Chiefs dynasty limps into Baltimore to take on MVP and business guru Lamar Jackson. And oh fuck, that's what happens when he has to play an actual defense. In a battle between Captain Interception and the Fumble King, the Chiefs are able to keep Jackson contained and capitalize on his incessant fumbling. They lead by 2 scores most of the game, but a Baltimore comeback makes the final score a more respectable 31-26. As Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce continue their true Cinderella story by finally reaching the Super Bowl. Rams versus Cowboys. In an NFC Championship game no one but me saw coming, Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams head into Jerry World to take on the Cowboys, and this game was never really close. The Rams, behind an air raid consisting of Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and a geriatric shoulder, jump all over the Cowboys, whose fans are then clowned and memed into the shadow dimension as the Cowboys fall to the Rams in the NFC Championship 34-17. Roger Goodell and the NFL then proceed to spontaneously cum their pants as they get another LA market Super Bowl. Rams versus Chiefs. In a Super Bowl match that neutral fans are annoyed by because we wanted to see either a game between 2 great teams or at least something different from last year, both Stafford and Mahomes have respectable games, but it's the defense that shines as Kansas City is able to turn over the Rams with a pick 6 midway through the 4th to take a 27-22 lead and then shut them down to hold on for a Super Bowl championship. And that's it. Congrats to the Rams for making it to the Owl after flying under everyone's radar, despite winning 7 of their last 8 and their only loss being in Baltimore by 1 score. And congrats to Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce for winning their 3rd title and pissing off 80% of the fans, because most of us find you annoying anyway.